Hello everyone and welcome to the Brace Law YouTube channel. This week I will focus on criminal law and I'll start off with promise to appear and bail hearings, which basically starts the whole criminal procedure. So depending on the nature of your charge, usually if it's a lighter charge or maybe the police do not have enough evidence or have not gathered enough, once you've been arrested, you will be released on a promise to appear. What's a promise to appear? It's essentially a piece of paper or a document that has two important dates. One is the date that you need to appear for your fingerprints and photograph, and the second date is your first appearance at the Ontario Court of Justice. Make sure that you provide your lawyer a copy of the promise to appear. If you've not been released on a promise to appear, you are being held for a show cause hearing or a bail hearing. What this means is that the police officers will have to take you to court where you're going to have your bail hearing. Now, depending on the nature of your charges, the gravity of your charges, the Crown will want that you have a surety. It can be a residential surety or you can reside in an address approved by a surety. You have to understand what a surety is. So essentially, the function of a surety is like a police officer outside of jail. There are going to be conditions that the Crown is going to ask that you must abide to, and the surety, which is your supervisor, will have to make sure that you abide by all of these conditions. Now, the surety can be a friend, a family member, or a partner. It is important that you understand that you shouldn't be taking your bail hearing very lightly because there will be conditions that will be imposed and you must follow. I'll talk a little bit later about the variation of these conditions. However, you also have to understand that sometimes the Crown may want to impose conditions that will interfere with your daily life. So the conversation that you have with your lawyer prior to your release or prior to you signing your bail paper or recognizance is quite important because you have to be open about your schedule and about your commitments. So for example, if the Crown is seeking a curfew, your lawyer can somehow try to negotiate a time that will be beneficial for you, while at the same time making sure that the Crown will agree to the release or to that specific time for the curfew. One thing that I mentioned is that the condition can be varied at a later date once your court proceedings start. However, you have to understand that this is a negotiation between the Crown and your counsel. For example, in a domestic situation, the Crown will not want or the Crown will impose that the complainant and the accused not have any contact. But maybe after some sessions of therapy, the Crown will be agreeable to contact with a revocable consent or with a written consent. So as you can see, the Crown is not necessarily set on imposing solely those conditions. They can be varied, but you also have to make sure that prior to your release, you're not restricted to the point that you feel that your freedom is taken away. One thing that I will mention that's quite important is that when you are released to a surety can at any point pull away and dismiss himself or herself from being your surety if you do not abide by the rules, as well as the surety must call the police if you are breaching any of the conditions. Now, like I mentioned, the surety can be a family member, a business partner, or perhaps a friend, but you also have to understand that they will be liable to the court because when they sign off on your bail hearing or on your release, they will have to vouch money that they could potentially lose if they don't call the police and you have breached the conditions. I hope that you guys found this video informative. For more information, please head on to our website, www.bracelaw.ca. If you or anybody that you know has gotten in trouble and needs representation, please contact or call us right away and we will be more than happy to help you. Stay safe and take care, everyone, and I'll see you next time.